Okay, so we're going to wrap with what I call the Proustian Questionnaire reboot with a black cast.
Okay. I'm so excited.
Who is the last black author you read?
Well, the last one I read was James McBride. He just has a book about James Brown out, and I read The Good Lord Bird a lot because I love it. It makes me laugh.
You read it over and over?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. What black historical figure resonates with you the most and why?
That's easy.
I know the answer to that, right?
I bet you don't.
I think I do.
Who?
It's not Booker?
No.
Oh, okay.
For me, I'm sorry. I mean, he's amazing, and that would be a great answer. But I can't help. But I'm glad this is Paul Robeson.
Yeah.
Paul Robeson, and I feel, one of those weird things that I don't know. I'm so grateful for this experience. My first acting class was at the Paul Robeson Center for the Performing Arts.
Did Mommy have a role in that?
What, did my mom?
Did
yeah,
you-
she did, because I didn't have a winter sport and she wanted me out of her hair. And so there's Paul Robeson was born in Princeton, New Jersey, right? And they have a Center for the Performing Arts. And okay, I'm being interviewed, so I feel like this is going to sound really self-centered, but I am being interviewed and I'm talking about myself, so how am I supposed to not? But anyway, okay, is that people sometimes ask me, why you wrote a graphic novel, you write books and you direct plays, like, who do you think you are? Like, why do you do all this different stuff? And the first thing that I always think is like, well, Paul Robeson did it.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Paul Robeson. And one thing that's been amazing about my friendship with Antoine, I don't know, and Rick, a lot of artists have been really supportive of me, so I shouldn't Paul Robeson was my first model in my head of what an act. There is his face is carved into this little statue in the front, and that's what acting was to me. Is walking by Paul Robeson, and he was a sportsman, an activist, writer, singer, director. They had all the things he did under the plaque, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to be that, And so, I later found out how tough his life was.
Yeah.
Obviously at 13, I didn't understand what he had been through. And this is a guy who was the first, I think the second African-American at Rutgers. And he was a quarterback, right? Do you know the story? He's a quarterback and he's All-American, unbelievable athlete, unbelievable at everything he tried to do, this guy. And after practice, the white players snuck into his room and took a hammer to his hand. Okay? This is a true story. And you know what he did? He came out the next day and threw left.
Paul Robeson, y'all.
Yeah. And the more you read about him, what's but here I stand, tallest tree in the forest. This guy, there's a few people that, chop down trees for a lot of us, and he took it hard. The world was, he took it hard, and he's a real leader. And a lot of people don't mention him when they talk about the great civil rights leaders in the arts.
A lot of black folks do.
What's that?
A lot of black folks.
Well, good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, like I said,
Speaking of which, when was the last time you were in a social environment that was predominantly black?
Predominantly black. Well, I guess the last time, I don't know, the thing that pops to my mind is the set of Training Day. Set of Training Day was a huge learning experience for me. Mag 7, Antoine likes to hire a lot of black folks, and it's important to him, and it's really, and in Louisiana, it's the easy thing to do, But in Training Day, it was really new to me, black camera operator, black focus puller, black sound guy, I was all of a sudden, it was the
It's
first.
kind of amazing, isn't it? That these folks are out there looking for work, right?
Hey, look, and let me tell you something, whatever anybody wants to say, Denzel and Spike Lee, for example, have created a lot of jobs I walked away from that experience having a lot of respect for how hard that is to do. There's a great pull in life to just do what everybody else is doing. Always, in every field and everything, there's a great pull to just be average. And it's very hard to move the river, so to speak, you know? And in my experience, limited as it is, Denzel has moved the river in a good way. And so being on the set in Compton or Watts or whatever, that was one of the few times in my life where I felt like, are there any other white people around?
Who's your favorite black woman artist?
My favorite black woman artist. I want to, my brain leaps to actresses, and I think I should do writers or musicians. I guess I'd have to say really Nina Simone.
Yes.
Just because she's inside me, I watched that documentary recently, and discovering how much pain she was in. We have some mental illness in my family, but her insight and courage and wildness and beauty and she's my life is different because of Nina Simone.
Word.